Good morning everyone. Today we are going to discuss acute appendicitis. This is practical class for you. You are going to read acute appendicitis in the context of inflammation chapter. So today you are going to learn what are all the tissue changes that are appreciable in case of inflammation. We are taking example of appendix, and when it suffers from an inflammation, that is appendicitis, you are going to see what are all the tissue changes resulting from inflammation. Before we start the topic proper, I just want to refresh your knowledge regarding inflammation. We all know inflammation is reaction that is shown by living tissue in response to some offending agent. The offending agent, it can be an infection, or it can be a direct trauma, or it can be some ischemic process which leads to necrosis of the tissue. Whatever may be the cause, all these things, they can evoke an inflammatory response in a living tissue. Okay? So, let us see what will happen in an appendix which has suffered some damage and has developed inflammation in that. The most common age where you see appendicitis is adolescents and young adults, and it is more commonly seen in men. We all know appendix is the vestigial organ of our gastrointestinal system. At one end it is closed, at the other end it is opening into cecum. So only at one end it has got communication with the gastrointestinal tract. If something happens and the lumen gets obstructed, the lumen of the appendix gets obstructed, what are the changes that you may expect? This obstruction could be a fecolith or a gallstone that has travelled all the way from ileum to the cecum, or a tumor of anywhere, like it can be from large intestine, or a tumor that is of appendix, or a worm infestation like Enterobius vermicularis. Whatever may be the reason, once there is an obstruction to the lumen of the appendix, what might happen? Logically, it is closed at one end and the other end is now blocked with whatever may be the etiological agent. It results in increased intraluminal pressure. Once this pressure increases, it results in some amount of tensile strength, or we can say increased tension in the appendix wall. Because of this increased tension, there will be decreased venous outflow from the appendix wall. On the other hand, because of the obstruction, contents are stagnated, which invites bacteria and it provides a fruitful environment for the bacteria to proliferate. Due to bacterial toxins, the mucosa of the appendix, it gets damaged and the cells, they may become necrosed. On one hand, due to bacterial infection, which is ultimately leading to necrosis, inflammation will happen, inflammatory process will be evoked. On the other hand, because of the compromised venous outflow, there is relative ischemia that can affect wall of the appendix. That also can evoke an inflammatory response. So in inflammatory response, there are vascular events, there are cellular events. Vascular events, it is all about edema production. The blood vessels, they tend to dilate, and the endothelial spaces, they tend to increase in size, and there will be seepage of contents into the extracellular space, that we call it as edema, isn't it? And coming to the cellular events, there is inflammatory cells, they are getting invited into the place where the damage is being happened, like neutrophils. So overall, there will be tissue edema and neutrophilic infiltration. As a result of the inflammatory process that is happening, on gross inspection, appendix looks like congested because there is vascular congestion is there. And the serosal lining, which usually has a glistening quality, it will lose that glistening quality, ends up having a dull surface. The dull surface is because of edema. If you take the microscopic section and see, mucosa will be ulcerated, or it can even be necrotic sometimes. And the characteristic feature of acute appendicitis is presence of neutrophils in the muscularis propria. During the early stages of development of this, that is early acute appendicitis, neutrophils, they are confined to perivascular spaces. But in full-blown acute appendicitis, they are present in muscularis propria. Okay, let me show you. See here, you are seeing on the left side picture, some intact mucosal glands are there and few disrupted glands are there. That is nothing but ulceration. To the right of your screen, you are seeing muscularis propria layer. I have zoomed it out, and if you are careful enough, you can see some of the neutrophils. I will show you another picture. See here, to the left side, you are seeing, from the bottom I am describing, you are seeing one congested blood vessel. On top of that, the pink threads, that is nothing but muscularis propria, and you can appreciate neutrophils presence in that. On the right side picture, I just wanted to show that diagrammatic representation. From the top, you are seeing ulcerated mucosa, and in muscularis propria, you are seeing neutrophils, and serosa, congested blood vessels, you can see in the serosa. This is what you are going to draw in your records. Try to appreciate this now. You have to draw mucosal layer with some part at least showing ulceration, and submucosally you have to draw lymphoid follicles because this is appendix, and then draw muscularis propria, and here and there you have to put neutrophils. Okay, so the diagnostic finding that you see in appendicitis is neutrophilic infiltration in muscularis propria. This you have to write. You may have to pause here or go back to this slide to draw the picture in your records. Okay, I am just continuing with the lecture. Clinically, the patient usually will have periumbilical pain, which will be migrated to right iliac fossa pain. Patient will have nausea, vomiting, low-grade fever, and mildly elevated WBC count also. There are some recognized complications of appendicitis are there, like perforation, bacteremia, liver abscess, and in some cases portal vein thrombosis and pyelophlebitis also. Okay, so this should